So this is a video that I can easily tap into because I am a life path number 6. So I understand y'all, okay? If you're a 6 watching this video, um, just know I understand how hard it can be to live inside of our minds. It's lots of anxiety, lots of stress. We are at the center of the mind plane. So we are, um, sorry, one second. We are at the top for a reason, because we can get a lot of shit done as long as we don't get in our own way. Um, 6 being the center air sign would be usually represented by Libra. So if you have Libra in your chart, or if you're a Libra sun, it probably makes sense if you're also a 6, because Libras are really um, they're kind of like the inspirational, um, I don't know, like energy. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that they're in there for the long run, but they do like to help people. Um, but I think with the Libras, the difference between them and the 6 is that I don't think that they want to do it for a living. Um, but the 6s do. They want to help people because they have a natural need to be helpful. They are very, very caring. So even though the Libras may come across as very carefree, they actually, the people around them, they do give that vivacity to, is because they truly care. And then Libras are also very, you know, political, or they stand up for things, and that's what we see a lot with the 6s. We see kind of altruistic people like Virgo, that really just want to lend a helping hand, and they just have to be careful that they don't overextend themselves. Similar to a Virgo, it's like you can't split yourself into 6 different yous and expect them to go off and do all the things at the same time, because it's just not how it works. So you really have to be conscious of how much you're giving, and what is actually being received in return. So let's see what we can draw here for life path number 6, okay? Kind of excited. I'm sure some of the cards that I'm used to seeing will come up. And also, I know a lot of 6s in my life. There's a bunch of them around me, so I guess that would make sense. Sun of Leo. So if we look at a Libra rising, then Leo in the 11th. So friends who you're surrounded by, lots of that energy. Although I never feel like I truly understand Libras. I think the 6 mind is as close as I'll get, because I just don't understand how they can do it all. Maybe I'm a more turbulent 6, but I'm also an INFJ, so I think that ties in pretty well. Like, I really do like counseling people, and I like helping them, and this is one of the ways I do that. So but that Libra energy, go go go, I definitely, I don't have that. I have like lots of me time in between my social activities. Got to recharge. So, but I mean, that's true. I'm sure Libras look a certain way, but in reality, they probably do take a good amount of time for themselves too. They're just more in the hustle and bustle. So, but 6 is really coming in the center of the mind, the center column. Like I said with 4s and 5s, it's really all about which direction you're choosing to go, because you're in the middle. So, it is fitting that we see, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio in the middle, because they are kind of the middle signs. Um, and they have a lot of choices to make in their life, basically. Um, that's what it boils down to, is like, you could really choose any life for yourself when you're in that. You could choose to go further through that last column and achieve the 9, which is everything, and maybe go beyond that. But You could always choose to go backwards, you know, if you feel like you didn't learn something, or if you just really want to, you know, surround yourself with things that are comfortable, things that you know, the past. So it's just like, I think in that way, the middle has a lot of more personal struggle, because it's just like things aren't quite as fluid for them. They don't feel like they're kind of um, okay, I got a good one. Okay, so you know how like at the airport, you are they have those like moving escalators, but they're flat. They're not angled up. So for the sixes, you're watching these other people glide on those little escalator things, and you chose to walk. So it's like you're making it harder for yourself. You're slowing yourself down because you want those other people to glide. You know what I mean? So, damn, Tyler, that was good. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, you're watching everybody kind of like wave at you as they just go a lot faster and a lot farther. Um, and that's the kind of mentality of a six, is like we know we can do it, but we just have to be able to choose where we put our energy in more carefully, because that's you know, we can achieve a lot, but we have to be our own coach first, so that we can be everyone else's second. What do they say in the airplane? You got to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before helping anyone else. That is essential for a six, you guys. Okay, so let's see what cards we get. Let's see what kind of cards we can get. So excited about this new deck. All right. Okay. Well, these are ones that came up recently for me. I just got 4, and I'm not going to talk about them. I'm a little more picky with these numerology videos because I kind of know what I want to say, or if something comes out and I'm like, oh, light bulb, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so here we've got a 6. So we'll go with this one first. I'm not doing just 6s, but I mean, I feel like this would be pretty substantial. So there's air, there's 6 of swords, so this is right up our alley. This is like one of our cards. So this is really escaping. So escaping with what you have, whether you're running away or not, but like this is you in the boat, and it's a very somber card. In this deck, it's a little harder to tell the colors, so you don't really know how dramatic the scene is. That's my only um, the only thing I don't like about this deck, because they are so pretty to look at with the holographic, but it's harder to tell the mood of the card because of the color. But here in the classic Rider-Waite, it's very dark and gloomy, very gray. You'll see a lot of gray with the sword. So for us, that represents uncertainty, because we're always pushed to make decisions, being air signs, because we have that prowess. We can do it. It's just knowing what's best for us at the end of the day. So we may have a tendency to get in over our heads, and then that causes us to leave things unfinished, to just kind of escape, to not wrap it up. We obviously see things not being finished because we're still in the middle column. We're not in 7, 8, or 9, so that they're more about finalizing. We are still stuck in the middle, so we may have a tendency to just abandon ship, run away, because we don't have the heart just to stay in it. Like, we know when we need to go, kind of a thing. Like, I think that is one of our strengths, is like, we will help people to a certain degree, but I think we know when it's time to go. Almost, we know like when something's not serving our purpose anymore, and it's just realizing that we can take ourselves out of situations that is pretty essential for our own survival, and that's exactly what's happening in this card. You're taking yourself out of a situation that's no longer proving beneficial, whether it's a relationship, friendship, work, you know, whatever the situation is. you have to remove yourself. So this will happen a few times in your life, and it's not going to be easy. It's not easy to let go, because we want to be rewarded almost for our hard work and for putting so much effort into it, even if it doesn't come across. But we've thought about things so effortfully in our mind, and we've tried to envision it, try to approach it from every way we can, so it feels like we've done so much. But in reality, have we done a lot of like stuff on pen and paper? You know what I mean? So, but there you're pushed to kind of escape with what you have. So you never know. There's maybe bright future. It looks grim. Change isn't easy. And like I said, I think this is more about letting go. So you don't want to take those same problems with you. If you're taking the same swords, the same battles, it's like, are you really learning anything? Because in this card, you're still taking that. So if that's war, if that's struggle that you're still carrying with you to this new place, you're just going to find the same stuff, And when I was reading about the sixes, it's really about learning how to detach. Less is more for us, because we have to put so much effort into things that we have to limit how much is depending on us at the end of the day, like how many duties we have and all that, if we really want to utilize our abilities for like maximum impact. You know what I mean? So less is more. If you're going to change, really change. Otherwise, you're just going to hurt yourself, So let's see, Life Path 6. Maybe let's get something a little nicer. But I definitely, I can see myself in that card for sure. And who knows, you may be the guy that's actually rowing the boat. You may be helping somebody, maybe protecting them. But are you sharing their problems? They're not yours. I gotta be told that sometimes. Alright, come on. Life Path 6. 3, 6, and 9 is actually very significant in numerology, because it's the triangle. I can't go into further detail than that, because sometimes I start talking like I think I know what I'm talking about, and then I quickly find out I can't fully get there. So do some research if you are a 3, 6, or 9 and find out what I was trying to say there. But I know that 3, 6s, and 9s are significant because triangles have 3 sides, so they're divisible. So there's some significance there. So do some homework. Okay, so 5 of Swords. Another Swords. Now this one is not the happiest either, honestly. This is really who's getting away with stuff. Who do you find in your life that's just smugly pushing you down again and again and is getting off on it? You know what I mean? They're just like these antagonisms that you're going to come across in your life are just going to beat you down time and time again, because they see that you're trying to help. And some people don't like that. Some people aren't ready to be helped, or they're not calling out for it. So it's important for us to know when a situation could really benefit from our help. Okay, not every situation is necessary for us. So just think, just because it came into your life, is it really speaking to you? And this is unfortunately, we're going to have a lot of people that are going to try to take us down. Maybe you feel like it's the world in a way, that like it's just always working against you, when it's reversed, and it's just it's going to be really tough, because here we're not holding our heads high, we're very somber. And in this card, the message is to try to keep what dignity you have left, and keep your head up. So it is really hard, when we feel like we're not, all this effort and stuff that we're putting into things, it's not reciprocated, it's not looking like we want it to in our heads. The real world is a different story. And we just feel like we're not getting, it's just being taken again and again and again. And yeah, I mean, it's very possible, but you just have to believe, obviously, that there's a bigger purpose for us being here. And I think, like I said, you just have to be a little more self-conscious, a little more, not, that's not the right word. Self-aware? No. Not selfish. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say, but I don't like that word. But yeah, a little more selfish. You have to put yourself first. So if we don't do that, then we are giving other people the opportunity to walk over us. So just some food for thought. Because 5 is the strength that's at the center of everything. And it's also some Scorpio energy, so lots of destruction. So we can have some like really big bullies in our lives. Or I'm the kind of person that, like, whenever I get introduced to a new situation, I know who my antagonist is right away. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, I really don't like that there's always one. But for me, I can see it so clearly right when it happens. Like, I'm like, when I start a new store or something, I'm like, God damn, there it is. There that person is. Gonna have to deal with this. Like, I already know, and so maybe that happens for you guys too. And you're just like, you don't even get a moment's rest. It's like again and again and again. It's like, you fight the good fight again and again and again. So, but it's something to keep us going. Look at it that way. It's like, good doesn't exist without evil. There's a yin and yang to everything. There's balance. Like, if any of the numbers would represent balance, it would be us as the 6, the Libra, which is all about balance. And, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, these have been coming up for me a little bit. So I'm just going to quickly show you these. I don't think I'll go into full detail. Maybe you guys know how I like to talk. So, but we did get a 6 in the first. So that's pretty important to us. This is 6 of Wands. So, but the only catch is this is reversed, because otherwise this is a gorgeous card. Gorgeous victory, success. Everything that you hoped for is achieved, and people are recognizing you for your victory. You're getting accoladed, and I don't think we readily look for that. I think we just need to know in ourselves that we're doing the right thing, and that these little moments happen for us that kind of reinvigorate that. And so when we're not getting that, it can really, really tarnish us and throw us off course. But here we have the potential. I mean, it presented itself. It's just really about, are we seeing other people win time and time again, and we just don't know how to get there ourselves, This is about realizing, like I said, which battles are truly for us, because we have a lot of broken promises. We have a lot of, one person is maybe giving more than the other. And we're not following through. So don't make promises you can't keep, and be cautious, when you're giving that to others. So if we're talking about love, it just doesn't seem like it's probably going to be the easiest thing. I mean, Libras, like, I think they latch on to the person that's like closest to them. Oh, and I guess this makes sense with the 6s, because I'm like, don't, just because something comes into your life doesn't mean that it's solely for you to fix, okay? Libra, just because someone walks into your life doesn't mean it's solely for you to be with. You know what I mean? There may be something else going on there. There may be another eventuality, but it's not always love, okay? So really know if that person is going to meet you halfway, because it's either you or them that's not ready for that time and time again, it looks like. So it's really about finding that right time, which is super hard. It's the hardest thing out there, I feel like. But it's something that you just can't force, So you just have to focus on yourself. and let the rest unfold. Because magic, you can't summon magic. You know what I mean? It's just like once you find that wand or come across it, like you realize your power, and it's just something within you. It's not something that you can. I hope you guys know what I'm trying to say, but it's just something beyond being called upon, you know? So we've got the Page of Pentacles in reverse, okay? We don't always feel wealthy, and we feel like the money just goes and goes. Maybe it's because we're being foolish. We're too idealistic. That's very, very true of sixes. We're always trying to paint a brighter picture than is actually true. And look at that dog down there. He's trying to warn us. He's like, dude, there's a cliff right there. It's like, if you just keep going, you're only hurting yourself. And we're like, la da 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 da, but I need to help everybody, you know. And it's just like, we just have this need to be idealistic and like seeing the good all the time, and sometimes seeing what's really there isn't a bad thing, and it's just not something we want to do sometimes, but we kind of convince ourselves that if we just keep trying and trying again, that it'll come to us, you know. And it's just like, even the dog knows that danger lies ahead, you know, because this is a self journey with the Fool, and we got it right after the Page. So I think this is kind of reinstating that love will be a struggle for sixes. It's because we just aren't there yet. You know, like we have a higher purpose that we haven't achieved for ourselves, and I think that's the overall part of our life that we're working towards in this lifetime. That six energy is all about giving to others, and so we're not ready to receive. I say this about Libras all the time, but they're not emotionally, I don't feel like they can readily accept being given things. And in love, like, that is what it is. Like, I mean, I can see that in my personal relationships. Like, I've been like, I just don't know how to receive a gesture or something like that. It's just like, because that's what I do. You know what I mean? I'm always giving, so it really takes me off course when that happens. And I wish, like, it, you know, was conveyed that I am appreciative, but sometimes I feel like it probably doesn't seem that way. The Sun reverse, so we want to be kids, but we have bigger fish to fry. So it's really about, again, we got the Fool, and you guys, I'm happy for one of these cards that's gonna come up, but we're so idealistic AF, you know, you guys. Like, we just, I feel like taking on a negative tone or thought processes is literally death for us, and that's here. You know what I mean? It's like, we will not. We are going to love it. We're going to stay happy. We're going to keep motivated, and we're going to keep going. Like, that's what this is, okay? But it's like there's a time and place for that. I mean, sometimes you have to let the emotion in and learn from it, and then you can let it out. But here, it's like, we only want good, okay? And we just can't demand those things, because they don't happen, you know what I mean? Like, balance, 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 people. So, very happy to see this one. So maybe there's a lot of Leos out there that are sixes. You got one right here. So this is the caring nurturer. Look at this. Lots and lots of power. Like I said, you guys, we can achieve a shit ton. You know, it's just really about finding that time and what's worth the energy. Okay. She is taming the lion through love, through nurturing. She's taken a completely different approach, where I bet every other guy out there was trying to just kill it because they don't understand the beast. They only see fear and reflected in their own eyes, and so automatically they try to strike it down. And so because we see more, people are going to recognize that, and they're going to not allow us to step in and and get that approach, get that insight, they're gonna just try to cut it down, and we're gonna have to like protect the beast. You know what I mean? And just be like, no, no, like we can learn a lot from this. Um, so we are true defenders. It's very cool to see that. I love that because it's just remember your strength, remember what's inside of you, and your nitty gritty, and it's just like filter. So because you really can achieve a lot with the strength card. Um, and that's just having the courage. So the courage to fight the good fight time and time again. But I think we just need to be a little more realistic, and um, we'll still have time to be idealistic, but balance, people, balance. Three of Pentacles. So this is cool. So this is like, what's your endeavor? What are your hobbies? I have a shit ton of hobbies. This is one of them. But it's like you're always working towards something. You're always building something, and it could be very recognizable. Like they say with the sixes, a lot of sixes actually go on to stardom and like fame, and they're actors and stuff like that because I think they feel the human condition so deeply, and going through playing different people helps them express that side of them, you know. And so the three means that you could really be recognized for your work. Um, yeah, and it almost looks like it's like a church building too. So it's like what the work you're putting in is of a philosophical pursuit. We see that with the Fool. It's of a spiritual pursuit. So you're really teaching people how to take that different approach, just like we see with the Strength card. You're just, I like this one, Knight of Wands. You're finding your journey, your purpose by inspiring others. So maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's not supposed to be more than that, but you will get recognized for it, but just don't expect to have 15 minutes of fame or whatever, unless that's something that you're really looking for. So because like I said, I think the sixes don't really need that. I think it's just the people and time that they put into the lives of the people around them. I think sometimes they need to get some accoladed for a little bit. Just like a simple thank you sometimes goes a long way. But let's see if we have any more for life path number 6. If you guys, for some reason, have watched this entire video without still knowing your own life path number, just add up your birth date, the day, the month, and the year. Empress. Ooh. Okay. I'll take her, but I won't talk about her for too long. Empress is the femininity, and she is a caregiver. She's like the mother archetype. So we definitely are that way. We definitely are the mother archetype in a way. Not unlike Cancer, but I think in ours it's more about inspiring people to think differently and see differently, whereas Cancer, the mom, is showing you how to operate in the world. She's teaching you the laws and lessons of society so that you can go forth on your own path. We come a little later. We come at a time where it's kind of vital for people to hear certain things, and then we're those counselors. Or it's like if you star in that movie that is extremely, it happened at the exact right time in pop culture, like it's so significant to current news, like because you're teaching people something about a topic, or they're seeing something, they're understanding something through you. Like we're like the prism that people can understand through. You know what I mean? Like we're like the looking glass, and like when they come out the other side, they have more perspective and more awareness. So we do have a lot of power, but I think we stand for something bigger, something not necessarily of this world. So lots of spiritual means in that way, and I think that's the Three of Pentacles. That's what we're working towards. Life path number 6. Anything else? All right. Okay. So we got the Leo card a second time. So hell, there may be a shit ton of Leos out there with 6 energy. Um, when we see her this way, she's great. She's using all of her power for good. Very creative, very spiritual. We see the sunflower and the cat, like the Wiccan pagan, and then the spiritual, and then the growth with the wand. A beautiful card, beautiful. She wears that crown because she has integrity and all these like good attributes that the strength card talks about. Um, Now, when we are reversed, are we using that strength for everything? You know, maybe we don't always feel ourselves, or we don't always feel that power. You know, but it's within us. You know, we have to remind ourselves it's within us, and that we can reign supreme. But we can't be so insisting all the time that people need to take our advice, that people need to do what we say, because like I said, not everybody is looking to be told what to do. Even though it most likely would help them, they're not ready to hear it all the time. So we have to be conscious that it's the right moment to say what we need to say. People know that we're insightful, people know that we're always expanding and looking for that, and that we can be inspiring. But don't wear others down around you just because you have all these insights. Keep a journal. Do something creative. Put this energy into something fulfilling. Like, I'm doing this channel. Like, this helps me, but try to get it out of you, and so it's not coming out all the time in social situations where it's not really that right moment. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't be so aggressive with your insights, and don't get too high and mighty. You know, it's like, get off your high horse sometimes. It's like you can't always do the right thing all the time, six. I think people try to tell us that all the time. They're just like they're just so damn proud, you know, that they're doing the right thing all the time. But it's okay sometimes to have uglier moments, or to be, um, you know, a little more human. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. There were some surprising ones for me. I wasn't expecting all of these, but I did like this, and I do definitely understand what the cards were saying here, because this is very much it within me as well. So if you guys have any more questions, or are you confused about something, you know, message me. Yeah, and if you have any more suggestions for what other kind of videos I should do, yeah, don't hurt yourself. Like those. And in a way, I mean, we're our own worst enemy. I think we went about with that. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Look out for more numerology stuff. If you haven't watched the intro to numerology videos on my channel, please do. There's a part 1 and part 2, and they will really kind of help you discover your chart and some basic numerology kind of knowledge. So anyways, peace to the 6. Okay.